have a bin somewhere of all your beauty gadgets? Because I do. And I thought it might be fun to pull this out and share what's in here and how I use them. So here's my bin. And first up, I got this from Amazon Prime, the Prime Days sale. And this is a red light mask, but it's clear, so you don't feel so claustrophobic wearing it. Let me show you what it looks like on. This is what it looks like on before you turn it on, and there's a little button right here. And now I have it on. And it has a timer. It'll shut itself off in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go sit and watch TV and have a red light treatment. The next thing in my bin is this wand. And this wand is something that I got from either TikTok or Temu, I'm not sure. I was influenced on this one. And this is supposed to reduce like lymphatic drainage, and it's supposed to smooth and lift. And when you push this button, it comes on, and it's also got red light therapy, so you can spot, treat an area. And to be honest, I haven't used it regularly. I forget that it's here. I probably need to put it somewhere closer. But because I'm not using it regularly, I can't vouch for it. I can't say it does really anything. But if you see it and you see people smoothing their jowls and their neck and their forehead with it, I have it. I haven't really noticed a difference. It does have different colors. If I push the button again, it'll turn into the blue light, and that's supposed to be good for acne. And the green, I don't remember what that's supposed to be for. I always use the red. But maybe I'll use it now. Right now I still have the face mask on. Oh, and it vibrates. But the red light's not really hitting my neck, so maybe this little red light on the wand will help. I don't know. I don't think it'll hurt anything. Kind of feels good. I clench my jaws at night when I sleep, when I'm under stress. And since I've been single, I haven't been doing that anymore. But it does feel good in this bone. This bone gets real tight on me sometimes. And when I'm using this, it kind of relaxes that. In here, I've got this. This is the bikini trimmer that was crazy on TikTok last year. And this will get everything nice and smooth. This is for longer hair. This is for shorter hair. I've had a lot of laser hair removal, so I don't need this a whole bunch, but I got it. And then this one, this next thing, I'm not using right now because it's summertime, but this is an IPL laser hair remover that you can use at home. And it doesn't it doesn't get rid of the hair in one try. So this one is a combination laser hair remover, and it's also got an IPL laser for like sunspots and things like that. I don't use this in the summertime because you need to use it on skin that is not tan, because it goes for color. And so this is something I use in the wintertime, and it actually works pretty well. And I'll do this probably once a month. I'll go in and I'll do this on my arms and my legs, and I'll do it on my face. I'm very careful to avoid my eyebrows and my hairline because I always forget which setting I'm on, and I don't want to do hair removal on my face. But on my arms and legs, it's fine. You may notice that I have cords plugged in on every device, and that's so I don't lose the cords. It's really easy. These cords are not universal, so when I'm done with using it, I'll go ahead and plug the cord back in it so I always know where the cord is. This next device is my micro needling device. And I use this carefully. You can get different sized needles. I get the smallest ones because I'm not looking for maximum damage to my face. I'm looking for maximum benefit. And so I usually use the 25 mil needles. And when I do that, my face is red. And at night when I use it, I usually use it before bed about once a week. And I'll do it before bed and I'll look red when I go to sleep. But when I wake up, because it's not as invasive as some of the larger needles, my skin's already, it looks plump and my lines are reduced. And what it does is it increases collagen production. The microneedler also comes with disposable needle heads, and I've got them in different sizes, but the ones that I use the most are the 25 millimeter. And this little cartridge just snaps into here. And then you turn it on, and it's really easy to use. I'll show you how to use it. Next up is something that arrived today in the mail. And this is a little makeup fan. It's just a little personal fan, and it's got a spot where you can rest your phone right here. So if you're filming and you want to have a fan on you, you can do that. But it's also good for drying down your makeup. Like if you're trying to put your concealer on and you need it to dry down for a little bit, this speeds up the process. Same thing with foundation or any of your creamy, liquidy products. You can dry them with this, and you can increase the fan speed. It goes up to 5. And that's that. So that's the next thing in the bin. And then the last thing that I have in the bin is this beauty wand. And what I use this for is to zap little moles and freckles and age spots that I don't want on my body. I use them for those little red moles. I've been getting a lot of those lately. But I do have to warn you, before you use this, read up on it. And before you use it on any freckle, mole, or spot on your body, get those freckles, moles, and spots checked by a dermatologist to rule out skin cancer. As we get older, skin cancer becomes more and more common, and you don't want to zap skin cancer with one of these little wands and make it disappear on the surface, because it won't get rid of it underneath the surface, and it'll allow it to spread without being able to be seen, and that is not something you want. Also, if you scar easily, or if you get keloids, or anything like that, if you don't heal really well, don't use this. Because the chance of scarring is there, the chance of keloids are there if you're prone to them, and there's always the risk of infection anytime you're doing anything that will damage your skin. What this does is it burns off well, it doesn't burn it, but it electrocutes the top layer of skin, and that's how it gets rid of moles or age spots. I don't scar hardly at all, and so this has been great for me. But when I did the research, dermatologists across the board hated this tool, and they hated it because of the risk of infection and doing something on your own, and then you've got to deal with it. So there's the risk of scars, keloids, and infection, and so use at your own risk. Do your own research. I actually love it because I've had a couple big moles, and one of them was on my wrist. There's a little teeny brown spot. That was a big mole. Now it's just a little teeny tiny spot, and all of my red moles are gone, and it's thanks to this. But you have to check with the dermatologist first. I had all of my moles checked before I ever touched this thing. So if you have a risk of skin cancer or scarring, you're prone to infections, don't use this. But I like it. Okay, remember that little brown mole I just showed you? It's gone now. Right there's a little white dot. There's a little white scar where the brown mole was, but from a distance, I like having that brown mole gone. It was much bigger when I started. I probably zapped it 4 or 5 times, And something that the tool did not work on is these scars on my knuckles. I got these when I tripped and fell on the concrete on a dog walk, and I scuffed up my face pretty good, and I also scuffed up my knuckles. And these scars are a reminder to watch where I'm going when I'm walking dogs. But that tool did get the brown mole, and it is gone. And it's worked really well on moles. Now, I said in the previous clip that it worked on age spots. It does not. I was testing it on age spots. I was hoping that it was going to work on age spots, but it hasn't gotten rid of any age spots. But it does work really well on the moles. I have no moles to show you anymore because I have gotten rid of all of them. I don't have a single mole on my body. But if they come back, then I know what tool I can use. And I'm lucky because I don't really scar bad. I do have scars here. I'm hoping that these will fade with time. I've noticed that with my skin. Scars do take a really long time to heal, but they do disappear after a while. And in the summertime is when you see them the most, but in the winter, these, you can't even see them. But I would be very careful with that last tool. That last tool is the most dangerous thing I have in my kit. The rest of them are pretty harmless, but anything that you're going to do at home, what I've done in the past is I have gone out and gotten these treatments at a med spa or a dermatologist office first, and I pay really close attention to what they use and how they use it. Of course, their equipment's, more commercial grade, but I look at their techniques. And then when I'm ready to try something at home, then I'll keep in mind how the professionals used it, having had a professional treatment. And I find that helps me with my confidence in trying these things at home. And so that's just something I wanted to go over with you. So what am I missing in my kit? Is there anything that you use regularly that you love? I know I am missing some of those electrocurrent devices on the face. I've heard bad things about those, and I'm careful with what I put on my face. But what do you use at home that I don't have? What do you swear by?